Hello, in this video we're going to talk about global warming part 5. This time we're going to cover the zones, what it's like to exist in these zones, and what happens when we have a zone merge. So, this has happened before in the first history, in the preceding histories after it, for humankind and other races within the universe, and even in heaven itself. We always take measures to prevent global warming on all planets. So, the zones of global warming, you have two kinds, a hot zone and a cold zone at the start of global warming before it goes catastrophic. As we can see here, there's a rough sketch of Australia and New Zealand, and there exists in between a hot zone. It is a considerably bigger zone than that now. So existing above the continent of America, North America, is a cold zone, and it covers most of the centre of the United States and all of Canada. That's a cold zone. Existing in these zones, what happens is, in a hot zone, like New Zealand is experiencing, we don't have winter. So that will be something that happens over time. You'll find there's no frost, the country becomes warmer, and you have dry, hot summers. What's happening right now is the heat is being cancelled out by heaven in regard to the forming of cyclones. Otherwise you'd have cyclone after cyclone after cyclone bombarding New Zealand, and it would become unlivable. It would also happen to Australia as well. Cyclone after cyclone after cyclone. So heaven is removing moisture from the air at regions where it would produce a cyclone. So you have heat, and then you have lots of cyclones and tornadoes and rough weather and continuous rain, and then it forms into one big cloud and covers the entire zone, and it never goes away. It's always constantly raining. It kills everything underneath. It expands and expands and expands and grows in size and volume and energy. A cold zone remains cold all the time. So you never experience a summer in a cold zone. After a while, it's just frost, and then snow sets in, and then it remains there over time, and then glaciers start to form. You cannot live in a hot zone because of the constant rain. It just floods everything. No matter what you do, you'll be flooding all the time. So it's an unlivable environment. In a cold zone, you can exist for a time underground in tunnels. So that's what you're forced to do in a cold zone eventually. You have to live underground. What happens is the cold zones and the hot zones expand, and then when they start to brush each other and then they merge, you have super extreme weather. So it's massive storms over 1,000 kilometers an hour, and it just increases in speed and size and destroys everything. By then, most life is dead already. So heaven's intervention today, there's technically a drought, but there's a removal of cyclones, and it is obvious that there is a hot zone between Australia and New Zealand. Without intervention today, we'd have 100 times more cyclones, typhoons, hurricanes and tornadoes. And it would just keep happening. So it's explosive when a hot zone merges with a cold zone. I am the Archangel Daniel, and I'm from heaven.